Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel joins us now for his view. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. Whether it be hoarding, cartel, shortage, smuggling, do we really need to import onions now?
The answer is no. Theoretically, it's a good measure to punish the hoarders and the price fixers. But now, my information is that our onion farmers are about to harvest. And there is always a time lag. If you authorize importation now, the actual importation will happen maybe weeks or months later. Then that will coincide with the availability of domestically or locally produced onions in the market. So it is it took them so long to make the decision. So I disagree. I agree with Senator Marcos, Senator Villar, that the DA should no longer import onion, and then magsama-sama na lang tayo. Labanan natin itong cartel na ito by, if we could boycott the purchasing of this imported onion, then let's do it. Or we minimize our consumption in order for the marketplace to punish the hoarders, the illegal importers, and the price fixers.
From the looks of it, the Department of Agriculture does not have any foresight. If there was a need to import onions, it should have been months ago. So it already would have arrived in December. So the prices of onions should have already been down all the way to 275 or even 300 pesos per kilo, Senator.
That's correct, Rico. And it looks like we allowed the hoarders, the illegal importers, and the price fixers to profit from that peak season. Christmas time yun eh. And now, if we now agree, because we will bite into the trap, and we now agree into the importation of onions, we will now be affecting the local farmers because it will the arrival of the imported onions will coincide with their harvest. So we should not fall into that trap. So, but we should continue to study this situation and solve it. Sino ba talaga ang liable dito? May binanggit na cartel, who are these people behind the cartel. And then I think the DA should really be accurately record data and information. How much is the national demand for red onion, for white onion? How much do we really locally produce? Kailangan malaman natin yun because like in the hearing earlier this morning in the Committee on Agriculture, where there were questions about the figures from the DA. DA should be, the Department of Agriculture should be our authority as far as agricultural production, agricultural products consumption are concerned in the Philippines. They should give us accurate data kasi kung mali ang information, mali ang numbers, mali rin po ang decisions natin.
We are indeed in a very sad situation, Senator, because I just got back from Thailand and onions there are at 80 pesos per kilogram. We are nowhere close to the prices of our Southeast Asian neighbors. And to change now the topic from onions, what do you make of these intramurals taking place over the past week in the Department of National Defense, the PNP, and the Armed Forces of the Philippines? What's happening here, Senator?
Maybe we can separate the two institutions. So the PNP, with regard to the PNP, I disagree with the call for courtesy resignations. I mean, this has no basis. As admitted by the Secretary, they have very raw intel reports or intel information. So let them deepen their investigation and then just approach the drug problem within the PNP on a case-to-case basis, individualized. They file cases against those that they have evidence, no? And then with the Armed Forces of the Philippines, I believe, Rico, that the AFP is a professional organization. It's a mature organization and very scientific and disciplined. So these are just siguro intramurals, but this will be contained, no? This will be under control, and our professional officers and soldiers will follow the decision of the civilian authority, given that they also know that under the Constitution, civilian authority is at all times supreme over the military.
Senator, Senate sessions have already resumed, and will the Maharlika Investment Fund be at the top of the agenda of the Senate? And what is it likely to be? Will it be supported by your fellow senators?
I belong to the minority, so I hope that it will not be in the top agenda. But even if it will be, then we will have to subject this Maharlika Fund bill or measure to extensive questioning. We will have to ask what is the idea behind this? What is this concept of a wealth fund or an asset management fund? Why do we need it now? Where will the assets be coming from? And who will be benefiting from all of this? But unfortunately, since we will be subjecting this to very extensive questioning, we will be consuming or eating up a lot of official time of the Senate. That will be the cost, Rico.
And briefly, Senator, what should be the priority bills of Congress in the first half of the year, if not the Maharlika Investment Fund?
It's definitely not the Maharlika Investment Fund. Everything to do with agriculture. All the bills which will help improve, increase productivity, the produce of our land, especially in relation to food items. Yan ang anuin natin. Yan ang buusan namin ng oras. Because if that problem is if we get distracted by this Maharlika Investment Fund, it will really eat up a lot of our time. Sayang itong mga in-investigate na sana natin itong mga cartel, itong mga smuggling of agricultural products. And then all of those who travel to Thailand and to other of those to Vietnam can share with us their observations and experiences. And then we can capture this in a bill or a measure. Then we should focus on those or on this kind of measures.
Food security should be at the top of the agenda of Congress. Thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word, Senate Minority Leader Koko Pimentel.